The Jurassic period is frequently imagined as a landscape dominated by giants that walk tall, but this simple picture often fails when we open the fossil record. One of the greatest misconceptions involves the locomotion of the mid-sized Ornithischians, the beak-mouthed herbivores. These herbivores form the ecological backbone of the Morrison Formation. For generations, creatures like Camptosaurus were painted as agile, purely bipedal runners. They were seen perpetually standing on their muscular hind legs and sprinting away from predators like Allosaurus. This was a visually dramatic narrative, one that cemented itself in public consciousness and early paleontological depictions. It gave Camptosaurus an almost gazelle-like quality, swift and reliant solely on speed and balance. But the physical evidence simply does not support this dynamic image. This initial interpretation arose largely from a comparative analysis based on a handful of relatively complete skeletons. There was a tendency to view all non-sauropod dinosaurs as variations on a single upright theme. The initial narrative, while compelling, was an example of unsupported speculation. This speculation overshadowed detailed osteological analysis. When we analyze the actual skeletal architecture, the picture shifts dramatically. We see that the body plan of Camptosaurus was inherently adapted for a life spent far closer to the ground. This body plan ranges from its robust forelimbs to the proportions of its torso. The creature's center of mass, though slightly posterior, was not optimized for sustained, high-speed bipedalism. Instead, it suggests a more generalized locomotion, a mastery of movement that prioritized both efficiency and versatility over pure pace. The skeletal record tells a deeper story of adaptation, one that challenges the cinematic myth of the Jurassic sprint. The truth is often more complex, revealing a creature less concerned with Olympic speed. It was more interested in the effective strategies of survival. This fundamental reassessment of posture is vital to accurately reconstruct not just how Camptosaurus moved. It is vital to understand how it lived, ate, and interacted with its world. Now, let's open the fossil record and resurrect the story of the bizarre survivors. The shift in perspective from agile biped to adaptable quadruped is entirely grounded in detailed anatomical study. To understand why Camptosaurus was a facultative quadruped, we must deconstruct the features that the bipedal model overlooked. The most telling evidence lies in the forelimbs. Far from the small vestigial appendages seen in strictly bipedal theropods, the forelimbs of Camptosaurus are remarkably robust. The humerus and ulna are comparatively thick, suggesting they bore significant weight. Furthermore, the length ratios of the forelimb elements are appropriate for load-bearing. This enabled a stable, weight-distributing stance. When we analyze the morphology of the manus, or hand, the case becomes even stronger. The digits are not configured for grasping or strictly balancing. They possess a short, G-wide structure that would have been effective in distributing weight across the ground. The arrangement of the carpal bones and the broad, splayed arrangement of the metapodials indicate a semi-digitigrade posture. This formed a strong, weight-supporting pad. This is a crucial adaptation for a terrestrial animal that frequently lowered its front end. This contrasts sharply with the narrow, kinetic hands of true bipedal runners. The vertebral column also provides clear structural support for a quadrupedal stance. The cervical and anterior dorsal vertebrae show articulation patterns that would have allowed for the head and neck to be lowered comfortably to the ground. This position is ideal for a low-level browser. The overall robustness of the torso and the rib cage's wide profile suggest a substantial gut. A substantial gut is necessary for processing coarse, low-lying Jurassic vegetation. This bulk would have made prolonged, sustained bipedal running energy inefficient. It would also have been biomechanically strenuous. Moreover, comparative paleontology strengthens this argument. We see a clear evolutionary trajectory among the Ornithischians. This led ultimately to the fully quadrupedal iguanodonts and hadrosaurs. Camptosaurus, often classified as a basal iguanodontian, represents a crucial transitional form. It possesses the necessary skeletal machinery for moving bipedally when speed was required. This bipedal movement was also used when reaching up to higher vegetation. But it was structurally optimized to spend the majority of its time moving slowly, methodically on all four limbs while feeding. This is the definition of a facultative quadruped. It is an animal that defaults to 4 legs, but can use 2 when necessary. Driven by instinct and the necessity of foraging, the Camptosaurus utilized its 4 sturdy limbs to move through the thick undergrowth. Its default position was a stable, low-slung posture. This posture maximized energy efficiency for covering long distances while browsing. When confronted by the threat of a large theropod, it could certainly rear up. It could employ a temporary bipedal sprint, much like a bear. But this was an escape strategy, not its primary mode of travel. This dual capacity was the key to its survival. It allowed it to exploit a wide range of food sources. It retained a critical option for rapid, if short-lived, evasion. This scientific deconstruction allows us to build a far more accurate biomechanical model of this essential Jurassic herbivore. It is arguably a more intriguing biomechanical model. The accurate reassessment of Camptosaurus locomotion from bipedal sprinter to facultative quadrupedal browser has profound implications. These implications are for our understanding of the ecological niche it occupied in the late Jurassic. This was a critical adjustment, placing it firmly within the mid-level herbivore guild of the vast Morrison Formation. It wasn't designed to compete directly with the towering, high-browsing sauropods. Nor was it restricted to the small, ground-level consumption of creatures like Dinosaur. Instead, its structural adaptability allowed it to exploit a diverse range of flora. The ability to drop onto 4 limbs permitted sustained, efficient feeding on ferns and cycads. It also fed on fallen debris at the understory level. Conversely, the capacity to rise up bipedally for short periods, balancing on its powerful tail, allowed it to access foliage at higher reaches, perhaps up to 2 or 3 meters. This versatility meant that Camptosaurus was a keystone species in terms of energy transfer. It efficiently bridged the nutritional gap between the low-lying thickets and the canopies claimed by the largest dinosaurs. This revised posture also changes the dynamics of predator-prey interaction. The classic depiction of a frenetic chase is replaced by a more nuanced, strategic confrontation. The chase involved a Camptosaurus racing away bipedally from a pursuing Allosaurus. A four-legged stance provides immediate stability for defense. While it may have lacked the active weaponry of a Stegosaurus's thagomizer, a bulkier, quadrupedal stance presented a more formidable target. It was less a pure flight risk and more an animal capable of bracing its weight. It could use a powerful kick from its hind legs, or it could rapidly change direction, using its stability to evade the grasping jaws of a predator. When we analyze fossil trackways that potentially belong to animals of this morphology, we see patterns that suggest efficient, low-energy strides rather than breakneck speed. The survival strategy was one of versatile resource gathering and defensive resilience, not just speed. The legacy of Camptosaurus in stone, therefore, is not that of a simple runner. It is the legacy of a resourceful intermediate herbivore, a successful adaptation that thrived for millions of years. This shift in scientific consensus underscores the enduring importance of rigorous, data-driven paleoecology. It reminds us that our initial, often dramatic reconstructions are merely hypotheses, waiting to be either confirmed or elegantly overturned by new fossil evidence. They are waiting for more sophisticated biomechanical analysis. The anatomical facts speak clearly. Camptosaurus was a master of its landscape. It was a crucial, four-footed component of the Jurassic world's immense complexity. This small yet critical correction, the repositioning of a creature from 2 legs to 4, is a powerful testament to the ever-evolving nature of paleontology. We are continually refining the portrait of these ancient worlds. We are seeking the quiet truths embedded in the bones. It is through this diligent process of analysis that we truly grasp the magnificent ingenuity of life's prehistoric adaptations. These adaptations are often surprising. This diligent process is bridging the chasm of time. We finally meet the Camptosaurus, not as a myth, but as a genuine creature of the Jurassic Earth.